Swear an oath to you. You do solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give in the matter now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
State your name for the record, please.
Bailey Gabrielle Pickett.
Okay. How long have you been a resident of the state of Kansas?
My whole life since 1996.
When and where were you married to the respondent, Devon Pickett?
Butler County.
Okay. When was that?
2021, April 10th, 2021.
All right. And you have children from this relationship?
Yes, I have
many?
3.
Okay. And their ages right now?
3, 2, and 10 months.
Are they all in your custody currently?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You've alleged in your petition that you and he are now incompatible. Does that mean that you can't reconcile certain differences and you wish to go your separate ways?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're asking the court to grant a final decree of divorce from the respondent on the legal ground of incompatibility?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What is the custody plan that you're proposing here?
I would like to be granted full custody, whereas Devon is in prison. So
how long is he going to be there? Do you know? I'll bet
I think he was sentenced 10 years, I believe.
Okay.
10 or 12.
All right. Now, I trust that the property that you and he once had is all in your possession now?
Yes, his mother and sister picked up all his possessions.
Okay. All right. Is there anything that's in your possession that you think he's entitled to?
I don't think so.
And you're asking the court to grant all of the property that you have in your possession to you?
The divorce hearing opens with sworn testimony from Bailey Pickett, who confirms her Kansas residency, marriage in 2021, and the couple's 3 young children. She explains that the marriage has become incompatible and formally requests a divorce decree, sole custody, and ownership of property currently under her control.
Solely, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're going to be responsible for your own debts and bills?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Regarding the issue of child support, I mean, he's an incarcerated inmate. He's not in too good of a position to earn income right now. Are you working within the facility, Mr. Pickett?
Can you repeat that?
Are you working within Lansing Correction Facility? Do you have a work assignment that you get paid for?
Yes and no. I mean, I don't have an hourly wage job. That's what you're asking. No.
Okay, but you do receive some compensation at the prison?
I get the state pay and $9 for guarding.
Okay. Are you seeking an order of formal child support against Mr. Pickett at this time, Bailey?
I mean, there's no point. I mean, he can't pay it, so.
All right. Okay. Were there any other matters concerning your marriage relationship or this divorce action that you believe you still need to make suggestions to the court about?
No, Your Honor.
Bailey, are you asking for a previous name to be restored to you?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, you're going to keep the name Pickett? Okay. All right. Okay. I think that pretty well covers the ground that the petitioner needs to cover, Mr. Pickett. Do you have questions for her?
I would just like to know why I can't see my kids. That's what I'd like to know. That's about it.
It's a fair question. Bailey, do you have an answer?
I believe for the children.
The court reviews financial matters and child support concerns, noting that Devon Pickett is incarcerated and has limited earning capacity. Bailey states she is not seeking formal child support at present, believing that his imprisonment prevents meaningful financial contributions toward the children's upbringing.
A prison is just not the best environment for a 3, 2, and 10-month-old baby. I think it would be a really big setback for the children mentally and emotionally to see their father and then be taken away. It's really been a challenge for the oldest, the 3-year-old, my son. And he's doing really good right now. And I think it would just be a big trigger for him to see his father and then not see him for however long it is between visitations or whatever.
Does your child ever ask you, Bailey, where daddy is?
He did in the very beginning, but not anymore.
What did you tell him?
I told him that daddy had to go away for a while.
Okay. All right. Okay. Mr. Pickett, is there any other matters that you want to be heard on?
Can you repeat that, sir?
Is there anything else that you want to address? Anything in her testimony that you wanted to address?
Yes, two things. So in regards to the safe environment, all they have a designated area for visitors to come in, and they have activities for the children to do so they can still have a relationship with their incarcerated fathers despite them being in prison. And they're currently building other play areas for them to engage with their fathers. So then growing up, like for instance, me, my dad was in and out of jail, and I never got to have that connection with him. Rather, he didn't really want that connection with me and my sister, versus I'm actively trying to keep a relationship with my kids. So I don't see why I'm being kept from them when I actively want to still see them.
Attention shifts to parental access when Devon asks why he cannot see his children. Bailey argues that prison visits could negatively affect their emotional well-being, particularly the oldest child, who struggled initially with his father's absence, but has gradually adjusted to daily life.
That's a bigger detriment to wondering why. Hey, why did my dad never want to see me? How come I never got to see dad? I get it. My dad's locked up, but why can't I see him? Does he not love me? Like, I don't want my kids to ever think that. And then to have you say it's going to be a mental impact on them. For me, that's a bigger mental impact of not being able to see of having a dad, knowing you have a dad, and that person just not wanting to see you. And then my other thing is, I know I'm incarcerated and that I'm a convicted felon, and I have some firearms that were not given to my mother and sister when they came up here. So that's another issue I would like to have addressed, that I need those to be sent to my family so they can deal with what I do with them. And I want them to be given to my cousin. Was what the plan is, and then they just magically disappeared. Haven't heard anything about it. They weren't able to be located.
What about the firearms, Bailey?
The firearms, I have looked at my father's house and I've looked at my brother's house. I did not find them when we moved. He did get them taken away from the military. I know he got them back, but I went through our whole house because we recently just moved, so I had to pack everything, and they're not there. He did get his car repossessed when he first went to prison, so I don't know if they were in there or if they're in bags that were packed. His bags that were already packed or what. So I had to go through the whole house to pack the house, and I didn't find firearms. If I do find them when I'm unpacking things, I will definitely send them because I don't need them.
And where would you want those to go if they were located, Mr. Pickett?
To my mother's house.
Okay.
Devon challenges that position, describing prison programs designed to help incarcerated parents maintain relationships with their children, drawing from his own childhood experiences. He argues that denying contact could create deeper emotional harm and leave the children questioning whether their father loves them.
Of course, you know that when you get out, you can't be in possession of those.
Correct.
Okay. All right. You know where he wants them, and the court will order you that if you come across these guns, you need to make sure that those are turned over to his family members as he has requested.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
May I say one thing?
Go ahead.
With the children, he called me January 30th on his birthday, and I forgot that it was his birthday. I was busy trying to do things, and then when he hung up, he was mad at me, and he had not contacted me again until May 14th and May 15th. He never contacted to talk to the children, and I've told him several times, you're more than welcome to call and talk to the children. He contacted me May 14th and 15th. I was unable to answer the phone. I was at appointments when he called. And then he messaged me to see if they could go to a family fun day. And I just simply told him no, because of the kids' best interests. I don't think it's a good environment for them and stuff. And that's where we're at now. But like, for him to want to see his kids and talk to his kids, he hasn't really put in a lot of effort.
Can I make a response to that, Your Honor?
Yes.
And as far as to me calling the phone, the timer for the phone ran out because there was no more time on the phone, and I'm not able to use my funds to put money on my account because I have an obligation with the Butler's Associates, so they're taking what money that I do get out of my account.
Another dispute emerges regarding several firearms that Devon claims were not returned to his family. Bailey explains that she searched extensively while moving homes, but could not locate them. The court later orders that any discovered firearms be transferred to Devon's designated relatives.
So if there's no money on the phone, I can't call. And we've had this similar instance around from November until basically my daughter's birthday, from her birthday until about Christmas time, to where she wasn't able to put money on the phone, so I still was not able to talk to my kids for about a month's worth of time. So in that similar instance, I simply just did not call.
And with that being said, I have told him multiple times, when this money runs out, I don't have the funds to put on it because everything that I make goes towards rent and bills and things for the children because I'm the sole provider. So he can easily ask his mother or sister or anybody else for money to put on the phones, and he hasn't. So that's where I'm at with that.
All right.
To respond to that, I can't do that when my family had to scrape money together to take all my personal belongings across the country. So I can't just very well.
That was your request for them to do that.
One at a time. Any other statement, Mr. Pickett?
My statement is, she pretty much gave me and my family an ultimatum, say, hey, I'm about to move. All my stuff needs to go. Either you can go to storage, or you guys can take them out to South Carolina, but I won't be using any of my money to do that. You and your family have to come up with this money to do that. So my mom and a couple of my aunts got together, helped my mom fund to get my stuff across the country.
All right.
And my response to that is, you haven't helped provide for me and the children for a year now, and I'm supposed to just fork up money and give it all to you to put all your stuff away?
Okay.
The discussion returns to communication with the children. Bailey maintains that Devon has made limited efforts to remain involved, while Devon explains that prison phone restrictions and financial obligations have prevented regular contact. Both sides dispute responsibility for maintaining communication during his incarceration.
Store all your stuff and move it?
Responding to each other's responses is just getting argumentative and not being very productive at this point. Court's prepared to rule. Based on the evidence presented, the court finds that the parties are incompatible and that the petitioner shall be granted a final decree of divorce from the respondent on the legal ground of incompatibility. The marriage of the parties is hereby declared by the court to be dissolved. Court orders that, with the exception of the firearms that the court's already addressed, the petitioner will be allowed to keep as her sole and separate property all of the personal property in her possession, but will have the obligation that if firearms are located that were Mr. Pickett's, that they be made available to his family members and allow them to possess them. The court further finds that just based on current circumstances, the mother will be granted sole legal custody of the children. Mr. Pickett's not in a position to be able to share parental duties at this time or to even be consulted on important decisions. So the court will find that at this time, the mother will be granted sole legal custody and she'll make the day-to-day decision for these children. I would ask the mother to consider visitation alternatives that might be offered at the Department of Corrections level. The court will also order that the father will have a reasonable telephone contact with the children, calls that he initiates. And I realize he does have some institutional constraints on him, but to the extent that those calls can be accommodated on your end, mother, I would ask you to continue to accommodate them.
So you're asking me
I'm not going to require that you do face-to-face visits. However, I think that is a call that you, who know these children and know what their current needs are, that you can make the
Arguments continue regarding personal property and financial burdens associated with relocating Devon's belongings. The judge intervenes, discouraging further back-and-forth exchanges and announcing that the court is prepared to issue a ruling based upon the testimony and evidence already presented.
decision, I think, responsibly regarding actual face-to-face contact with their dad in a prison setting. They're very, very young ages, and I'm not sure it's appropriate right now for this court to compel face-to-face visits, but they are to have telephone visits. So what was your question, Bailey?
Do I need to fund those telephone calls or okay.
You just need to accommodate those if he's able to make them and initiate them at reasonable times and for reasonable durations. Okay. All right. There's no change of name requested. No spousal support order will be entered. Each party will pay their own bills and expenses. I'll point out under the laws of the state of Kansas, you're not divorced based on this oral pronouncement from the bench, but rather when the decree of divorce is completed and filed with the clerk's office, it's the filing of the divorce decree, which is the act that divorces you under Kansas law. And then for a period of 30 days thereafter, neither one of you should try to remarry. Any marriage you would attempt to enter into during that period would be voidable under Kansas law. So wait 30 days past your decree's filing date to attempt to enter into a new marital relationship. Now, I have before me a proposed decree of divorce. I'm going to look at that here quickly. Mrs. Pickett, I need to ask this for legal reasons. You are not currently pregnant, are you?
No.
Okay. I'm going to order a token amount of child support in this case rather than a zero figure. I realize the limitations on income that Mr. Pickett currently has, and he's got some other obligations that apparently are in collection. But I'm going to order him to pay, and I understand it's a token amount, of $5 a month while he's incarcerated. There needs to be at least some established child support order in the case. And I think that that's all he has the capacity to pay currently. If his circumstances change, obviously that can be modified.
The court grants a divorce on grounds of incompatibility and awards Bailey sole legal custody. While declining to order face-to-face prison visits, the judge encourages reasonable telephone contact between father and children and reminds both parties that parental rights remain intact despite incarceration.
Okay. Have you paid the docket fee in this case, Bailey?
I believe so.
Okay.
I've paid everything that has need to be paid so
There would
far.
have been a $195 docket fee when you filed this case?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I think I can go ahead and complete the divorce decree in this case based on the document that's been presented. I will note Mr. Pickett's presence. And I'm going to go ahead and try to get this on file without further delay. And I will file it without Mr. Pickett's actual signature. as this is not an agreed upon decree, but rather one that's been ordered by the court. I am going to go ahead and have our clerk's office in due course send out a copy of this to Mr. Pickett. You're still at Lansing, Mr. Pickett?
Yes.
Okay. We'll go ahead and have that forwarded to you there. Is the address 301 East Kansas Street, number 399, Lansing? Will that get that to you?
Pretty sure, yes.
Okay. So I want you to have a copy of it for your records. And hopefully there won't be any institutional interception of the document that's sent from the court. Mr. Pickett? All right. Good luck in raising these children, Bailey.
Thank
But Devon is their dad. There's nothing that's happened today that terminates his parental rights. He still has them. Though limited at this point, I do hope that you can, at least through the telephone, keep him in contact with his kids. That very well may be emotionally supporting for them in some way as they get older, especially as they get older. So good luck in that regard.
Thank you.
All right. If there's nothing further, then the Pickett divorce matter will be in recess at this time. And I believe we can end the meeting for all persons at this juncture.
Before concluding, the judge establishes a token child support obligation of $5 per month during incarceration, finalizes a divorce decree process, and orders documentation sent to Devon. The hearing ends with encouragement for continued parent-child communication and wishes for children's future well-being.